The FiberFX Strand Modeler is a great tool for creating guides that we can use in layout to style our fibers using FiberFX. But it's not limited to this use. I thought what we would do is use it to create some leaves on a tree branch. So let's go ahead and create a quick tree branch. I'm just going to draw a box. Let's start with just this little box and let's make it a branch. So I'm going to go over to Multiply, Extend, More, and I'm going to use Magic Bevel, and I'm just going to pull out a little branch there. I'm going to hit Tab to turn it into subpatches, and then I'm going to go ahead and freeze it because we don't need it to be subpatches for the tree branch. Go over to the Surface Editor, and I'm just going to turn smoothing on, and that should do. Now, one thing that I can do if I don't want leaves to be generated on the root of the branch, a little handy tip here is before you open up the strand modeler, just select the area that you want to work with. So I'm not going to work with this area. Come over to Setup, Fiber Effects, and you'll see that that area is not in the tool. So we don't have to worry about it generating leaves where we don't want it, or guides or fibers or whatever you're wanting to do. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and grow some fibers, and that looks like a lot of fibers, so I'm going to, as far as placing leaves on this, so I'm going to go ahead and lower this. Let's see what 40 looks like. Let's do 25. Okay, that works for me. And now what I'm going to do is give the sides 2 sides instead of 1, and then let's increase the fiber radius. Okay, so that can be where our guides are going to, this is where our leaves are going to be placed. Okay, and let's go ahead and add some gravity so that they kind of droop down a little bit. Okay, I don't want them to droop down too much because I like the idea of being able to see them from more than just all of them hanging down. Okay, so that they're growing out of the top and kind of curving over. And that seems to work pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And in layer 2, we have our leaves. I'm going to go ahead and give this a different surface. So go to the surface editor, and as we can see, fiber default, we already have a different surface. Okay, but I'm going to rename this just so that it's easy to know what's going on. So those leaves, and then I'll rename the default to branch. We'll give the branch brown color, and then for leaves, let's go ahead and throw some leaves on there. I'm going to turn smoothing on, and I'm going to make it double-sided so we can see the leaves from both sides. And then for color, let's take advantage of the UV map that's generated. So for projection, I'm going to say UV map. For UV map, we'll pick the UV map that was generated by the strand modeler, and let's pick a leaf texture so we can put a leaf texture on there. Let's see what it looks like as far as our UV map. So this is the UV map that was automatically generated, and let's throw a leaf on there. Okay, and so we've got a leaf for each one of those. Now if we wanted to, we could randomly select a few of these and give it a different surface name so that we could apply a different leaf texture. That would give us a you know, some more randomization there. That's an option. So let's go ahead and go back to the surface editor, and under transparency I'm going to choose UV map, the same UV map, and this time I'm going to use the alpha. Of course, I'm looking at this alpha and it's actually backwards. We've got white would be 100% transparent and black would be 0% transparent, so I'm just going to invert that. Okay, so now we have our branch with the leaves. Let's go ahead and save it, and I'm just going to call this branch 001. Save it, and let's send it over to layout. Okay, so now we're over in layout. Let's just position our camera so we can get a good look here. Something like this. Do a quick render, and you can see that we've placed leaves on a branch very quickly. They were already UV mapped for us. We didn't have to align them. They're already aligned. We threw some gravity on there to kind of randomize it. We could still go in before we commit to generating it. We could still go in and randomize it even more. We could change the scale, randomize the scale. We could, edit each one as far as placement goes, and it would still be locked to the tip here would be locked to the surface. Just another example of what we can do with the FiberFX strand modeler in Modeler to generate something other than hair and fur.